Psalms 103 verse 8 says, "The Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger and plenteous in mercy." And I just want to testify to that in this video. So I'm not going to have any like hashtags or anything like that. I'm just going to have just straight content. So if you've been following me for a minute now, you know that I haven't posted in probably like a month and a half, 2 months. And if you haven't been following me, then yeah, I haven't posted for like a month and a half, 2 months. And I want to just um explain what happened, what I was doing, um, and ultimately how the story behind this and how I got to where I am now. So let's get into it. Okay, so when I was posting a month and a half ago and beyond that, I was doing things of the Lord. I was, fasting, praying, reading the Bible consistently. Like I was really like doing it, really living for God. And I remember it was probably in April or May, that I started to get spiritually dry. Like the desire, the motivation to do what I was already doing, just, it wasn't, I don't want to say it was depleted, but it wasn't like it used to be. The fire was dwindling. So ultimately, where the mistake was is that I did not, you know, I didn't pray about it. I didn't pray about it. I didn't come to God about it. I just let it, I just did nothing about it and just let it happen. And that's where the mistake came in, because Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest." That's what Jesus says. So how can you expect not to? How do you expect anything to change if you don't go to Him? That's the type of thing. So ultimately, it led me into going back into sins that I repented of, that I was gonna stop, that I stopped doing. It led me basically going back into sin and going back into the world. I started watching shows that I probably not probably that I know I should not have been watching. I started um doing things of lust. I started really cursing again, which I never really. I started having idols again, and yeah, pretty much just I started not just sinning, but living in sin in the world. And it led me to ultimately being lukewarm again, which I was lukewarm before. That's a whole nother story for another video. But basically, yeah, it led me to being lukewarm, and it, I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for God, I don't know where I would be, because like even though I was so just lost, so deep in it, God was always there. He was always um reaching out, always, you know, um just being there, always, like, letting me know that this is not what I should be doing, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I did ignore it for some time, and I shouldn't have done that either. That's another thing. If God convicts you, acknowledge it. Don't ignore it. Do not do what I did. And yeah, ultimately it led me to being like, what is going on? Why is this happening? Like, it basically sent me on a downward spiral. And when I was trying to go back, it was like very hard. It was like much harder than it should have been. And I just want y'all to know that if you ever feel like, you know, if you're going through what I went through, or just feel like you're too far gone, just know you're not. Because, and just know that God's mercy and God's grace is still there, because the, like, the fact that I not only didn't to um pray for rest when I was spiritually dry. That's one thing. And when I went back to being lukewarm, that's two things. And when I ignored conviction, that's three things. And he was still there. So I just want to encourage y'all to just know that God is still there. He's always there. He promised he'll never leave nor forsake us. So just if you feel like you're too far from God, just know you're not. And if you feel like, you know, you're ever alone, just know that God is always there and he always loves you. And if you haven't came to Christ, I would highly recommend you do. That it'll be the best decision you ever make. Peace.